Welcome to another great episode of Outlaw Nation. I'm your host, Stephen Foster, and this is the Shady Sports Network.
This week's sponsor is Brown Plumbing and Heating. For over 35 years, Brown Plumbing and Heating has been providing outstanding plumbing services in Billings, Laurel, and surrounding Montana communities. Customer service is our top priority, and our goal is to be the best local service provider in the industry. Our highly qualified plumbers stand behind their work, which is why we offer some of the best warranties on all of our services. Brown Plumbing and Heating has dedicated crews for drain cleaning, drain repair, and replacement. We also do service and new construction plumbing for both residential and commercial projects. Questions about our services? We'll happily answer them. Call 406-656-8585. That's 406-656-8585 to speak with a team member today. Thank you to Brown Plumbing and Heating for sponsoring your Billings Outlaws and this episode of Outlaw Nation.
Outlaws are not only in the playoffs, but we're playing at home. And kicking that game off quite literally is our new kicker, Billy Perry, and he joins us this morning. Billy, welcome to the show.
Man, thank you guys for having me. Excited from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, but I will be there tomorrow morning, so I'm excited.
And tell everybody where you're from.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. If anybody doesn't know, every time I say Broken Arrow, that kind of raises eyebrows, but basically Tulsa. So I know everybody's familiar with Tulsa, and Oklahoma is our home and has been our home pretty much my whole life. I've lived in Texas a little bit, but Oklahoma is man, it's awesome here. We love it, except for the allergies. Allergies are horrible, but.
Hey, so you've been very successful in life up to this point. What motivates you to travel across the country and kick in the CIF Indoor Football League?
Man, it is just in my blood. I learned about 5 or 6 years ago to I said I was going to hang them up that one time, and my wife kind of looked at me and laughed, and she said, "Don't ever say that again, because I know you." And yeah, I said, "You're right." So I never say never. I always hear opportunities, and if opportunities keep presenting themselves, I definitely open that door and hear them out. So here I am in Billings, Wyoming, and excited about it.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you here. Harry Kane, he's an English soccer star. He recently announced that he would like to kick in the NFL after he retires from playing soccer. Do you think that's wishful thinking on his part, or do you think an athlete like a soccer player can make that transition?
I don't. That's how I started this. I played high school soccer and football. So I was a two-sport athlete, was blessed enough to play both in college as well. I played soccer and football. Soccer is an easy transition over to kicking. There really is, the two kind of go hand in hand. It is definitely not far-fetched for him to say that at all. His leg strength is phenomenal. And once you find that sweet spot on the football, it's all over with. You can put that together and make a pretty good name for yourself, kicking a football and a football, so to speak. Yeah. So
I love it. Billy, I read that you hold 2 Guinness World Records for kicking field goals. Can you share with us what those records are and what that overall experience with Guinness was like?
And that was absolutely amazing, because both world records that we set, they raised money for great causes, and tremendous people that we raised money for. So that was first and foremost in the spotlight, and then just to top it off, we got the world record behind that. So the one that I'm really proud of, the most extra points in 1 minute, was held by the greatest kicker of all time, in my opinion, Adam Vinatieri. Two clutch kicks that will be forever some of the best kicks in history. Well, 3 if you count the snow game with the Raiders. He set the standards for kickers, in my opinion. But to break his record, that was pretty special. We got 38 in 1 minute. And then we also hold the most at 40 yards, which is 12 in 1 minute. So Pretty proud of both of those records and pretty special. And like I said, just to raise money for a good cause, it was really cool all around.
That's absolutely amazing. I love that. What's worse for a kicker, shanking it wide right, missed by a mile, or the dreaded doink?
The dreaded doink. The dreaded doink. That one is, man, the bar will, the pole, it takes away most of the time. Sometimes it will give back. Sometimes it will give back. And that's a true blessing. I mean, but most of the time it takes away, and it's one of those where, you know, once you kick the wide rights, you don't even have to lift your head. You know those, and it's those doinks, I think, that you lift your head and you're like, oh, I hit this one good. Come on, I need that bounce. And you're pretty, I feel a little sicker when I've hit my fair share of poles, but I've had my fair share of good bounces too. So, but yeah, definitely the dreaded doink is the worst.
Gotcha. Let's say you get the perfect snap, perfect hold, everything smooth and perfect. How far out are you consistently splitting the uprights in indoor?
In indoor, boy, that's a totally different story. And I'm going to, I always tell my coaches that it kind of varies from game to game, especially, with the kicker my age. I always go out and try to find my range. The one good thing about indoor, it's always consistent. You're indoors. There is no wind. You have to, but 40 yards on indoor. I mean, I have the leg to go farther than 40, but with that goalpost being 3 yards wide, basically, just a little more than 3 yards wide and 10 feet, that's pretty. That's pushing your limits of dialing in, no doubts. So I would venture to throw out there 40 yards, which is once you hit 25 yard lines in indoor, for people that are familiar, that's half field. So that's about a 30. The end zones are about 8 yards. So half field here is about a 33-yard field goal, to give people an idea of where that might come into play at. So, anything past that, we're looking. A lot of people don't understand, when they see me kick one maybe in the stands or something like that, there is no punting in indoor football. So people are like, "Oh my gosh, you shanked that." No, we're doing that strategically to put the opponent because you got some big guys out there. They're not necessarily, we do prepare for the return in case of that. So we have a long field goal team as well as a short field goal team. That's a little different, that can cover if needed on those long kicks. But for the most part, we try to just kick those out of bounds, no returns, let the offense start, deep in the territory. So, yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be our 6 shooter segment. This is basically 6 random rapid fire questions. Basically allows Outlaw Nation to get to know you a little bit better. You ready to play?
Let's get it.
All right. All right, here we go, Billy. Your favorite NFL team?
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Favorite vacation destination?
Ooh, the mountains.
The mountains. I love the mountains. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh, golly. One superpower. I would like to I would like to be that peace guy, the one that I love to see the world come together and, just hang out, have fun. So I don't know if there is a superhero like that, but if there's not, I want to invent him and be him. Just, spread love.
The world needs him for sure.
Yeah, just peace, man. Let's all be friends.
If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
This is going to sound strange because I'm vegan. So I like my fake eggs, my guacamole, my fake cheese, and my low carb tortilla. That is my favorite. I look forward to breakfast every morning with that on there. So I could definitely eat that all the time with buffalo wing sauce on there. So
if you could meet any historical figure, who would it be?
Ooh, historical figure. Jesus would definitely be up there. Big fan of mine for sure. But other than that, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, two of the greatest, to ever do the game. I'd love to get in their brain and their mind and just get their champion mindset and see what that's like.
Do you have any superstitions?
Yes. Always try to put my right shoe on first. Anything I do to my left side, I have to do. It's so weird if I feel myself accidentally, brush my arm on this side, I got to brush my arm on this side. But I try to on game days too. I keep the left side. I'm a left-footed kicker, so I kind of keep it. If I do stuff, as far as any kind of spat, anything, it stays on the left side. So that's just weird and just weird little things. I don't know. It kind of changes day by day, but I listen to my body, and so those are some of the things that stand out. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for playing. That was the 6-shooter segment.
Love it.
Billy, did you kick in high school or college?
I did. I kicked in both. Muskogee High School. I started my junior year and continued on junior, senior year, and then I went to Greenville College, and that was I first went to Southern Nazarene University on a soccer scholarship, and that first year there, I missed football so bad. So I started reaching out to some schools, and Greenville said, "Hey, you can do both. We'll let you. We'll work with that." So ended up going to Greenville College, playing football and soccer both, and loved every second of it.
Nice. In 2019, you won a championship with Duke City. Can you share with us what that season was like?
That was unbelievable. I did not start with Duke City that season. They had a great kicker. He ended up getting he was in the service, so in the Navy, and he had to go serve our country. So I got asked to come in for one game at that point in time because they thought it was just, I think, a couple of week leave or something like that. So I got offered a 1-game contract. Went on that one game and went 11 for 11 and got player of the week in the league. And, Gina, I'll never forget Gina. I love Gina to this day. We still talk, the owner of Duke City. And she called me up and she said, "Hey, we want you for the rest of the season." And so we went on, and that was just Freddie Griggs was my holder that year, one of the best corners you'll see ever in the league. He's the head coach of Duke City now. But man, what a season that was. It was amazing. Some great guys on that team, and I'll never forget that season. And thankful for Jared Woods was the kicker that went over and served for us. Great kicker. He's back now, so I know a lot of people are we'll be looking to sign that guy. He's a really good kicker, and I was just thankful to step in and get him a ring that year also. So it's pretty cool deal.
Speaking of player of the week, that game against your first game for the Outlaws was against the Gillette Mustangs, and you got special teams player of the week. What'd that mean? What'd that mean to you?
Everything. It's not the goal. It doesn't, it's definitely not the goal that I set out. But if I get that, that means that I did my part and I helped our team the best that I can. And that starts with all those guys up front. That game, when I go back and watch the film on that game, I mean, that front line did so good. D2 just snapped those balls back. My holder, phenomenal holds. It takes a full team to do it, but that was it. It means a lot when that happens because special teams, sometimes they get overlooked, yeah. And that's kind of my saying is we're not important until we are, and a lot of times, especially in the indoor game, we are important. Outdoor game too. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot that goes into, there's kickoff return, field goal block team. There's a lot of stuff that goes into special teams. But when I can get that award for the special teams guys, man, I love it and I wear it proudly, and we all share in that award. So that went to that whole field goal unit team.
How do you handle the pressure of making a crucial kick in a game? And what strategies? Oh, I'm sorry. What strategies do you use to stay focused and calm under pressure?
I have really got into breathing techniques, meditation, ice baths. We actually that was one of our sponsors. That's for us personally. They, Polar Monkey. They sent us an ice bath, and we have it in our house. And so that has changed the game for me tremendously, especially at my age. I recommend ice baths. I know people are, but it's really a game changer. So that's been a good key to my off the field. When I'm on the field and I know that kick's coming, you can feel that heartbeat start racing a little bit. Then you start trying to work on your breathing techniques, get your breathing down, and it's one of those. I've learned. If I've missed the big kick and I've made the big kick. I've been on both sides of it, and more so than not, thank goodness. But so I know if I miss that kick, I come home, my wife still loves me, my kids love me. The sun rises in the morning. It's one of those. It does take a couple of days to get over it. It really does, but it's a mind thing. You just can't dwell on it. As a kicker too, you got to get on to the next, because, that next, it's kind of like quarterback. You throw an interception, you're getting ready to jump right back out there. You can't dwell on that. It's let's go. But that's the bottom line. That's how I go out there and handle that. I know life is going to go on. Nobody's going to love, there might be some people mad at me, and there might be, a few hate fans but people still, my wife loves me, my family loves me. That's how I get, I'm just like, hey, let's go out. Let's make this one. I got every mindset. I'm going to make every one of them. So let's just go do it.
Billy, you got quite the following on social media. When did you first start making content, and how long was it before you started to get really popular?
Well, we started shortly after that Duke City championship season. We did not set out to do this for a living. This is not what's, it was just, we were just having fun. My daughter came to me one day and asked to do a dance on TikTok. And this was in August of 2019. I had no idea what TikTok was in 2019. And I said, but sure, I'll do a dance. And so we did a dance, and she's like, you ought to let me make you an account. So she made me an account. One of my first videos was me kicking a football over our house into the pool in the backyard, and my phone starts going just like I've never seen my phone doing it. And I asked her, I was like, what's going on here? And she said, you're on the For You page. And I said, the For You what? I didn't even know what the For You page was. She's like, you're going viral. And I said, awesome. So then we did another video, and there were just comments on there about dads. There were just some things. Some people were like, man, I wish my dad would do stuff with me like this. And I'm just like, what? How do dads not want to hang with their kids, man? This is the best thing ever. And that was, so we started putting out some dad content, trying to motivate dads and just be like, hey, hang out with your kids. And 2020 hit, COVID, and everybody went inside at that time. And I truly feel that was, we had started gaining momentum before COVID, but when COVID hit, we really took off. And that's something I'm really proud of, because I know we helped a lot of people get through COVID, and that reached out to us personally that were having a rough time, stuck, with some of the wrong people. And just our content, seeing our content and giving them hope and some positive motivation messages really made a difference. And so going through that COVID year just was a life-changing thing. And that's what really kind of pole vaulted us up to where we are now. And so it's one of those deals to be able to do this with my family. It's a true family business. Everybody has a say in what we do, and everybody's on payroll. It's just really cool. So, but yeah, that's kind of the fast forward story of how we are where we are today, and so thankful for it. So very blessed.
That's a great story, and I love the content. If you guys haven't seen any of his videos, you should go check him out on TikTok for sure.
Thank you.
Can you describe a memorable moment or a game in your career as a kicker?
Probably the Duke City, my very first game. That one really stands out because this was 2019. In 2013, I had kicked for the Oklahoma Defenders way back, and they were an arena team here in Tulsa that were here probably 3 or 4 years, but I got to kick 2 years with them. And then they had a great kicker come in, Tommy, that went on to the Philadelphia Soul, but just a phenomenal kicker. So I took a back seat to him, but sitting there for those 6 years and just kind of watching things play out, I kicked, with the AAA Oklahoma Thunder. We won a national championship in outdoor. My heart is really indoor. I mean, I love that. I love the challenge of it. But that game in Duke City, that was my chance to really, I knew that was, it was a 1-game contract. I'd never had a 1-game contract ever. We always, signed up for the season. If you get cut, you get cut. But the 1 game was a little different. And I went into that game with, just excitement, nerves, hadn't kicked an indoor for 6 years. To feel big footsteps of Jared. I mean, he had just came off the Player of the Week that week before, had like 8 for 8. Something like that, and got Player of the Week in the league. And so I'm just like, man, I just want to, let me just contribute and make some of these, and we'll go from there. But to go 11 for 11, and then jump start the rest of that season. That was probably the game. My daughter got to go with me. It was just everybody else had gone on a cruise, and that was a story in itself, is how I was even available to play that game, because I was supposed to go on a cruise, but I got sick. There was just a lot of miracles that happened to make that game go down. My wife is on the ship with her friends. They're watching the game, trying to get the stream as best as they can. And that game will always go down. It's very special to meet all the Duke City people. Loved it. So pretty special. Even through the championships that I've been, that game was really cool.
Love it. Billy, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to, say hello to?
Man, just Billings Nation, Outlaw Nation. I'm so ready for you guys. You guys welcomed me with open arms, when I was there, that game against Wyoming. And I am just so looking forward to coming back and bringing home, helping us, get this big win. It's going to be a tough game. Sioux City, my buddy Brandon's the kicker on the other team over there. Us kickers kind of, we all stick together, but sure. It's going to be a good one. But Outlaw Nation, I'm ready to see y'all. I'm ready for a big win and to party it up afterwards. So I'm really looking forward to that.
For sure. Really appreciate you coming on the show this morning. It was great visiting with you.
Man, great visiting with you guys. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all this weekend.
Yes, we are. There you have it. Another episode is in the books. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so now to stay up to date on everything you need to know about the CIF and our Billings Outlaws. Until next time, go Outlaws.